Who is D'Artagnan Kuhl? Well, I'm just your average, everyday, run-of-the-mill, socialist, anarchist, Marxist, environmentalist, Messiah. And I have come, children. I have come to set you free. I represent a broad coalition of people, from the Australian Greens, the New South Wales Labor Party, several brothel owners in Adelaide, cannabis dealers in Sydney, and a couple of players from St Kilda football team. We call ourselves HARM, Helping Australian Revolution Through Media. We are concerned with trying to promote justice, equality, tolerance through a campaign of open debate, transparent dialogue, and destroying those who get in our way. And now I would like to tell you about some of our policies. Let's get on to our strategic and defence interests. As many of you know, the Australian Defence Force has a reputation for professionalism and excellence in serving our country both here and abroad. Wrong! The Australian Defence Force is filled with homophobic Neanderthal baby killers who persecute innocent minorities like the Taliban. If elected, we will put the entire Australian Defence Force on trial for crimes against humanity. And once we've done that, we will tear down every single Anzac memorial, and we will replace them with some real heroes. Life-size statues of the great Australian communist historian Manning Clark, activist judge Lionel Murphy, and the greatest living Australian of all time, Julian Assange. In addition, we will slash the defence budget by 100%. We will trade in all of our jet planes and helicopters and tanks for a white flag. Because there is only one nation we need to be afraid of. There is only one predatory power in this world, and that is the United States. We will sever our defence treaty with the US and cultivate alliances with like-minded regimes in Libya, North Korea, Sudan, and Venezuela. And together with our friends, we will work for world peace by destroying America. And with the money we save from defence, we'll build marijuana plantations and tofu factories. Money well spent. Let's talk mining. As you know, some say it was the mining industry that saved Australia from the Great Recession. We say wrong. Mining is the greatest evil of our day. Even more evil than John Howard's eyebrows. We need to strike a balance between mining and environmental stewardship. And the most responsible thing to do is to close down all the mines and prosecute the miners. Once elected, we'll not only close down the mines, we will round up all of the miners and send them to a place called the Ministry of Love for retraining. I got that idea from a George Orwell novel. Once we've done that, all the miners then will be sent either to a tofu factory or a marijuana plantation where they will do 10 years hard labour. So if you're a miner, get used to walking under a sign that says, Arbeit macht frei. Work makes you free. That's how they motivated people to work at Auschwitz, and I think it will work here too. Coming to the subject of culture and freedom of expression, we at HARM believe in freedom of religion. Now when I say freedom of religion, what I really mean is freedom from religion. So if you're a Jew, Muslim, Christian, Hindu, or follow Justin Bieber on Twitter, we will allow you to exist in our society as long as you take your religion out of the public square and go off into some dark, dingy corner and wither and die. You see, religion, it's kind of like a fat lady wearing a G-string. I know it happens, but I don't want to hear about it or see it because, quite frankly, it's disgusting. What is more, because of their faith in a higher power, religious people are potentially disloyal to the state. So all religious widows will be required to prove their loyalty to the state by making an offering of incense to the one true God, Julian Assange. Anyways, why hope for heaven when the Greens have promised to make Australia heaven on earth? Why worship Jesus or Buddha when you can worship the party? That's what they say in North Korea. And if religious communities fail to comply with our directives in these areas, then there is a course of action that is open to us. For example, here's a church, there's the steeple, and this is the bulldozer that crushes the building and kills all the people. Got that idea from Nikolai Ceausescu. This worked a treat in Eastern Europe before the wall came down. But don't worry, whenever we bulldoze a church, mosque or synagogue, we promise on top of it we will build an all-you-can-eat tofu factory. That way, everybody's happy. Now let's talk about something near and dear to my heart, gay marriage. Marriage should be about love, not law. So get your religion out of my bedroom. I should be able to marry anyone I want to, regardless of their gender. This is the great civil rights issue of our time, and anyone who disagrees with us on this topic is committing a hate crime and should be prosecuted. I mean, it should be my legal right to marry my biological brother, just like in Canada. But why stop with gay marriage? I should be able to marry anybody I like, or as many bodies as I like. I mean, I should be able to be married to my brother and my wife at the same time. Polygamy, my friends, that is the future of social networking. Forget Facebook or Twitter, we can form communities through polygamous marriages. What is more, some people need polygamy because it's part of their culture. People from Africa, Muslims, Mormons, even Shane Warne. Yes, I know polygamy exploits women all over the world, but hey, it works for the President of South Africa, Jacob Zuma, and Jacob Zuma knows how to treat a lady. Just ask any of his wives or rape victims. But gay marriage, polygamy, why leave it there? I should be able to marry any person. But what exactly is a person? Well, according to leading psychologists, sociologists, and Wikipedia, a person is someone who is self-aware, belongs to a social circle, and has a sense of right and wrong. It's arrogant to think that only Homo sapiens possess these qualities. Dogs, monkeys, even members of the Liberal Party show these traits. That's right, we should be able to marry our pets. A dog, after all, is man's best friend. Why can't I marry my best friend? It's a civil rights matter. So, as a matter of justice and constitutional law, in Australia, any man should be able to be married to his wife, brother, dog, and as many Ukrainian women who will do anything for a visa as he can find. As they say in the great state of Massachusetts, if you can carry it, you can marry it. You see, I don't want to live in a country where I cannot be simultaneously married to my wife, my brother, and my dog. That's not Australia. It's not even New Zealand. We are also concerned for justice, promoting harmony and community spirit. That is why we will declare war on the most dangerous, perverse and sadistic of criminal gangs in Australia. No, not outlaw motorcycle gangs, who are heroes. I mean an organisation of pure evil. An organisation whose depravity knows no limits and who has grown too powerful. Who is this Machiavellian organisation, you ask? Well, it is none other than the Salvation Army. That's right, the Salvos. They run the largest underground crime network in the country. Not only do they discourage kids from drugs, but they also convince drug-addicted prostitutes to get clean and leave the sex industry. Don't they just make you sick? If they got rid of all the prostitutes, what would New South Wales Labor MPs do for recreation? Spend time with their families? Yeah, right. That's right. When elected, we will offer a reward of 10,000 euros. That's right, you heard me. Euros will be the new currency. 10,000 euros for anyone who brings us the cap of a Salvation Army officer. And you get an extra 5 if the head is still attached. And we will cleanse and purify this nation of those do-gooders once and for all. But who is behind this diabolical organisation? Well, according to a reliable source, some guy called Bob on Twitter, it is none other than the 2 Archbishops of Sydney, Peter Jensen and George Pell. Once elected, we will issue warrants for their arrest, and in front of a record crowd in Stadium Australia, we will feed them to the lions at Taronga Zoo. You hear that, boys? Yeah! Where's your Messiah now, Jensen? Guess what, Pell? I am not Aslan. And after we have disposed of the 2 Archbishops of Sydney, we're all going to go out for tofu in a restaurant where St. Mary's Cathedral used to be. So that is what we believe, and you can trust us. Because if the 20th century has taught us anything, it's that people have nothing to fear from radical left-wing political parties. And remember also, we are the defenders of the defenceless. We are the voice of the voiceless, except for the unborn and the elderly who we have no use for. The other reason to vote for us and our candidates is because, well, we are your culture and intellectual superiors. Consider me. I graduated from Melbourne Grammar School, completed a degree in political science from Monash University, then did a PhD in the sexual identity of postmodern French philosophers, focusing on Michel Foucault. I love you, Michel. So vote for us, because we are so much better than you. And next election, remember what we of the radical left at HARM stand for. Tofu, marijuana on demand, diversity, equality, justice, and burning Catholics. Lots of Catholics. More Catholics than Henry VIII. And before I go, remember our motto. In order to achieve a little bit of good, first you have to do a lot of evil. I'm D'Artagnan Kuhl, and I am the activist.